Hello EUC family! Today's video discusses California's laws for electric unicycles.
Wheels? Yeah. Oh, can I?
Okay.
Let's go!
Let's go!
I'll be focusing on Senate Bill 1271 plus related regulations and how they will affect the EUC community and families like mine. Actually, if you live in California or have an interest in micromobility or personal electric vehicles, this video will help you understand where electric unicycles, or these beautiful EUCs, as well as other options like electric bikes and motorized scooters, how those fit into these laws too. I'll talk about why my family has chosen to ride electric unicycles and some of the practical tips that you might want to deploy as well. SB 1271 was signed in September 2024, but doesn't kick in until January 1st, 2026. Here's why it's a big deal for electric unicycle riders. It applies laws for, quote, powered mobility devices. Basically, that's anything with a lithium-ion battery designed to carry one person. It even clarifies further, saying it may or may not have a seat. And it's not just the impaired mobility devices, right? This classification applies to the electric skateboards, one wheels, hoverboards, and our beloved electric unicycles. However, it goes on to exclude specifically electric bicycles and motorized scooters, which have their own California Vehicle Code classification. First, let's talk about the good news around electric unicycle EUC. There is no powered mobility device age limit in this bill.
Woo! That was fun. Yeah, good grade. Done. It's awesome seeing you out here. Get your car fixed.
Yes.
Like the tires
I did that
fixed.
this morning, yeah.
Oh, good to hear.
So I'm all set.
Thanks.
So your young ones can still ride an electric unicycle versus electric motorized scooters and Class 3 e-bikes, which have a minimum age requirement of 16 years old. Some cities are even stricter. In San Diego, for example, they require that you be 12 years old to ride e-bikes. Second, there is no speed limit for electric unicycles. Unlike e-scooters at 15 miles per hour and electric bicycles at 28 miles per hour, but powered mobility devices like EUC riders, you're expected to ride at the safe speed per general traffic.
Delta. Hi, Daniel from Temescal, up to the Canton ride. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you again.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there you go. Right, totally. And the kiddos came out, so yeah, good to see you again. How's the riding been? Staying safe and loving it still?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
To disconnect
So
my
good.
wheel. I said no. I was like, no, I'm taking my wheel with me. It's like either you bring us both up or not at all. You're not making me sacrifice.
So this lack of age and speed limits might worry some, especially given kid injury data, but if you compare it to cars, they had nearly 4,000 fatalities versus 177 biking deaths. Now, micromobility risks are actually far lower, suggesting that the right infrastructure is there. So it's not about just banning kids, it's about training them up and making sure that together, as a community, we protect and teach those around us. Third positive part is that you are not required to have a license, insurance, or registration. This is actually similar to e-bikes, however, e-scooters, you're required to have a license to drive those. This California Vehicle Code will help ensure that powered mobility devices are subject to safety standards and hopefully ensure solid integration with the eco-friendly transportation options of California. Particularly, it does address visibility and safety operation though. I get it, electric unicycles are quickly gaining popularity, especially in Southern California, because they're eco-friendly, basically free transportation. They're fun and perfect for commuting or just cruising on coastal paths. But with more riders, and even especially kids, hitting the streets, safety is a big concern of California legislation. Now, I do want to stop there and give a shout out to California, because I love living here. And it's actually the 4th out of 50 states that are voted for the best bike-friendly infrastructure and laws. We have a lot of beautiful bike trails available to us. So with legislative context, you should also understand there's laws like SB 96, which is all around bike lane expansion, and AB 1774, which talks about speed control for other devices. But in SB 1271, there are three main safety standards that California EUC riders will need to realize in 2026. First is visibility. It mandates that you have front white headlights and rear red lights. Now, there is some room in there for reflectors, but I say go above and beyond the law when it comes to safety, right? As much as you can, put lights, additional lights even, on your electric unicycles, right? And the focus of this bill is actually nighttime riding, which is what we're doing here, right? It is the most dangerous time to ride. So, 3 recommendations I have to improve this is shred lights, which I use. They save a ton of time because they're all linked together with a 1-button touch, even though they're totally wireless. I also recommend Grizzly flow pads. You'll notice my feet are locked in on the unicycle using Grizzly pads, and on those pads there's reflectors built in. There's yellow ones on the side, red ones on the back, and white ones on the front. Additionally, I don't have it in this video, but I love wearing Beyond Riders safety gear because there's reflectors built into the cufflinks of the pants, as well as the shoulders of the jackets are totally reflective, right? So with these 3 added safety equipment, you'll be exceeding the letter of the law, right? Shred lights improving your visibility to others and your visibility on the road in front of you. Grizzly with the reflective strips, and you can even add lights as well. They have that option. Plus, with the built-in pads of Beyond Riders and the reflective clothing, you'll be riding safely and with style. The second is battery safety. California is requiring that you have UL certified batteries, and right now the only UL certification that I know of is InMotion's V9, which is part of the reason I choose to recommend it to just about anyone who is just now getting into this sport. Third, and this isn't new, kids under 18 are required to always wear a helmet. And if you're over 18, well, of course it's always suggested as well. Use your brain and protect it. Pretty simple. Battery safety, lights, helmets.
Bro? Yep. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Dave.
Super Dave.
I'm another Daniel.
Fantastic,
Hey, what's up, man?
good to meet you,
Nice
man.
parents. Yeah. First night ride. It's awesome, guys. It's fun. You liking it? Yeah, this is amazing. What a rush.
Right now, electric unicycles are still very accessible to children. But this new law allows future regulations to be made. So for the time being, this is still the best option for families to access eco-friendly transportation and enjoy a personal electric vehicle together. Also, we'll get to benefit from the other California laws, which increase biking infrastructure support and safety. So let's talk about, on that note, where you should ride in the California law and some of the overarching safety standards that we are held to. Now, SB 1271 does not explicitly restrict where powered mobility devices can be ridden. So we kind of go and look at existing rules and local ordinances instead. So by default, these devices, I would think, are similarly treated as e-bikes and scooters. Right? They're distinctly different, but following those rules, you're suggested and allowed in bike lanes, bike paths, or roads with speed limits 25 miles or less. Sidewalk riding is generally discouraged and may actually be prohibited by local laws to protect pedestrians. So if you're a parent, it's especially important that you teach this to your kids. For instance, there are also laws against modding your equipment to go faster than it was originally intended. And there's also laws about driving under the influence. And related micromobility laws which regulate speed to 28 miles per hour. So use this knowledge and be a good example to others and build up this community together. Furthermore, Assembly Bill 530 did not pass, but it was striving to get a license on all kids under 12 and require you had a written safety standard test. I'm happy that didn't pass. It was too cumbersome. I'm glad they stopped that. These should be accessible to children. But that means you need to take that upon yourself as a parent to ensure that you are not putting your kids in any compromising situations and I would suggest you stick to local parks or other low-speed, safe environments. Additionally, equip the personal electric vehicle with added lights and grizzle pads for added safety. I suggest monitor local rules in high-traffic areas such as coastal cities and always comply with local law enforcement. I understand where they're coming from. Their focus is just to reduce accidents and keep the general public safe. Be respectful.
Dave, I'm like right next to the leader. You should not be crashing into me.
I can't believe I didn't crash, but yeah.
I'm glad you didn't. You're not wearing much gear. He already has a broken rib. And he has a broken rib.
I've never been here. I don't know anybody who's done it.
This is awesome, right?
So this does matter because before SB 1271, EUCs were in a gray area with no specific classification, but now we have specific safety standards that we have to follow. EUCs are super accessible because there's no age or license requirement unlike scooters, right? Your kids can ride legally, but they need helmets if they're under 18, and you'll want to gear up their EUCs with lights and reflectors. I love teaching my kids to ride and going out as a family, but I make sure we stick to safe lanes and know the rules. So, while California isn't outright banning kids from PEVs, age restrictions and safety standards have tightened. Now let's wrap this up with some tips. Get the proper gear by using the affiliate links below. You can find grizzle pads, shred lights, Beyond Riders gear with reflectors, and plus even the InMotion V9. Now all of that you'll get for a discount by using the EUC family discount code. And don't forget, get your kid a MIPS certified helmet. I've made another video before about what we choose to use. Always balance your fun with responsibility and choose the safe route to travel. Use Google Maps especially, but also Apple Maps to find bike routes. Laws like SB 1271 and SB 96 mean more bike lanes and more places to ride. Plus, clear rules means less hassle from authorities. Let's do our part to keep the community safe and thriving, and equip your kids with proper gear to ride safely. Infrastructure improvements will help, but the focus on youth safety shows me that parents need to be more involved, showing California that EUCs are here to stay. What do you think? Drop a comment. Do you think EUCs benefit from these laws? Or does it impede on your freedom? If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more EUC content. Share this with your riding crew, and let's plan another community ride and celebrate our love for EUCs. Check the description for links to SB 1271's text and the recommended gear. For now, ride on, stay safe, and I'll see you out there.
Alright, Aiden, let's see it. Oh! Oh!
They're just touching the back of your wheel, like, come on! They're dusting off the track behind you.
Dude, it is pretty quick. I thought I could keep them, but no.
No, it's quick. They're quick.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
Look at that. That's
Sketchy because you're like,
just imagine that